If you check boys and girls, in the previous videos I have been talking about a voltage source and current source, whereby I said these sources are the source of what? Of energy. Okay, which is true. So we have what we call energy sources. So energy sources, these are sources of energy. Okay, so voltage sources, and current sources are the what? Are the energy sources. The energy sources, since they supply energy. Okay. So we have what we call a voltage source. So a voltage source is a source which supplies energy, right? So a voltage source, it supplies energy. In a voltage source, voltage is maintained constant. Voltage is maintained constant, and current is allowed to vary. And current is allowed to what? To vary. In a what? In a voltage source. Yes. What is a current source? Again, a current source is a source of energy. Okay. Okay, I'm repeating the same thing. Is a source which supplies energy. Yes, which is true. It is a source of energy. Then again, in a current source, current is maintained constant. Okay, constant, and voltage is allowed to vary, and voltage is allowed to what? To vary. Yes. So you're supposed to know this. A voltage source can be an ideal voltage source. It can also be a practical voltage source. So a voltage source can be an ideal voltage source or a practical voltage source. In the next class, I am going to tell you the difference between an ideal voltage source and a practical voltage source. Same applies to current. A current source can be an ideal current source or a practical current source. So in the next class, I am going to clarify the difference. I'm going to give the difference between an ideal current source and a practical current source. Right? So a voltage source is an energy source. Also a current source is a source of what? Of energy. See now, in a voltage source, voltage is maintained constant and current is allowed to what? To vary. While in a voltage source, voltage is maintained what? So I think I repeat the same thing. In a current source, current is maintained constant, while voltage is allowed to what? To vary. So a voltage source can be an ideal source. It can be a practical source. While a current source again can be a practical, it can be a what? An ideal source. Thank you. I will see you in the next class.